Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show tonight. This is March 28th, 2025, Friday, and we had a very significant drop in the market today. 715 points on the Dow at 41,583. The S&P 500 fell 112 points. Do you remember a few weeks ago I made the correct call? I told you guys that that correction was over, and yeah, we saw the markets rebound and everything else. I ain't saying that this time. This is a totally different, totally different idea. This might be the big one. Or the big one, I should say, that triggers a change. What do I mean by that? I mean that they've been supporting the dollar, especially during the last administration. Uh, the Federal Reserve was tightening monetary policy. This supports the dollar. The COMEX exchange with the metals exchange, and this is extremely important to the value of the dollar, how much gold and silver are worth in comparison to dollars. Gold and silver climbing prices equal a failing currency. They're losing control over the COMEX, and I think they're going to lose control over this market until something's done. And that something is called monetary stimulus. And this is the change I'm talking about. The big change I think is going to occur now. I think we're in for a market drop. I'll call it a very steep correction, steeper than the last one. I think it's going to put a shock into the markets, and I think it's going to expect change in monetary policy. We might even see fiscal stimulus, and we're definitely going to see fiscal stimulus here in Canada. They got no choice. Fiscal stimulus is the most inflationary monetary policy. We saw it during COVID with all the stimmy checks going out in the United States. You saw what they did to prices of things. Well, the United States is heading for some serious inflation. In my estimation, I think a lot of these other countries around the periphery of, let's call it Rome, are going to experience worse than inflation. It's Rome, the center of the core, right now it's the United States. It's the center of the core of financial policy for the whole earth, and Rome was in its day. And they started to take their currency, and they did exactly the same thing the United States did around 1964. If you guys have coinage from before 1964 in the United States, it was made of pure silver. What did Rome do? Exactly the same thing. They started to put a coating of silver on their coins and stuff. They started to debase the currency. So that's why I compare it to Rome. And just like Rome fell, this is going to fall. It's going to fail because so many factors, and they lead to war too. When you get in trouble financially, you take them to war. But here's the thing, guys. Right now, I think we're on the cusp of something really big with this one. We got through that last correction, but I don't think we're going to get through this one without probably a 20 to 25% drop in the market. It's going to shock everybody, and I think it's going to come fairly suddenly. I'm kind of putting my neck on the line with this one a little bit, but I got that feeling that this is it. This one is it. This is the big precipitous drop that's going to trigger a change in monetary policy. A more accommodative monetary policy than we've been seeing for the last 4 years. And of course, that's going to feed inflation. And the tariffs right off the get-go. These tariffs go into effect the 2nd of this month. Expect everything to go up 25% across the board that you import from any country. See, it doesn't matter if you're in the United States. It doesn't matter if you're in Canada. anything that comes to the United States into Canada is going to be jacked up 25% across the board, and anything in America that comes from Canada is going to be jacked up 25%. Anything you buy from Europe is going to be jacked up. Everything's going to go up. A lot of items, except domestic items only, are the ones that aren't going to go up 25%, but they're going to rise 25% too. You just watch. And it's not going to be just 25% either. That's the tariff alone. You have to understand something about merchants. If they got to go through all the business of all the paperwork and everything to raise these tariffs 25%, they're going to raise your price 30 to 35% to pay them the extra that they need to go through all this rigmarole. They're going to mark it up even more, probably 35% or 40%. And it's going to be a sudden sort of thing. You want to talk inflation? The inflation ball is already rolling. This just gave it a kick, you know? So here we go. We're off to the races. I'm going to make this a short show. I don't want it to be any more than maybe 7 or 8 minutes. But this is going to be when the change happens. This is what I've been telling you guys, a deflationary spike event. I've been talking about it for years. This market rolling down right now will be a deflationary spike event that triggers them to open the pocketbooks on the money again, because they don't want to see the entire system collapse. Nobody wants that on their watch. And you know how politicians are. They always want to be the good guys, the big guys, the ones that people look up to and everything. Oh, you're doing good for the people. Look, so they always tend to cater to their constituency and cater to the people. And who wants to be the guy on watch that the whole system collapses on and have the people angry? You'd be kicked out. So yeah, they're going to cut open the purse because it's what they can do. It's the tool they have. Just watch. It's coming. Okay, guys, I hope you're having... I'm going to do a big show on all this stuff that's happening right now on Sunday. We're right on the edge of war starting in the Middle East. They've been moving. The United States has been moving bombers that are nuclear capable into position, pointed at Iran. It's a buildup right now. If let's just go there. Let's say, what if the United States were to attack Iran and they got really bogged down into something big in Iran? Well, you can bet your boots that Putin would seize on that opportunity. And the only thing standing in his way at that point, because if America's got more than they can bite off and chew with trying to get rid of Iran's nuclear program, this Putin will seize onto that opportunity, I think. That's what I think. That's my opinion. Okay, guys. See you on Sunday. You guys have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.